With the NFL schedule dropping, it was only a matter of time till we got the early gambling lines. Week by week, Minnesota Vikings going 17-0. Also, will they cover the spread? So Superbook on Nevada, they put this out. And of course, lines are extremely variant from week to week. XYZ happens, and they're completely unreliable at a certain point. But they're fun to look at. And for the uninitiated, for the people who do not put down a jelly bean or two every now and then. So if it's a negative number, we're talking all these lines from the Vikings point of view. So if it's a negative number, the Vikings are favored, so they're predicted to win, quote unquote, and we have those in green. And then you have when they're plus a number, that means that they're underdogs, so they're getting those points to try and get it to equal even Steven. So the Vikings are favored in 9 games out of 17. They're dogs in 7. Carolina right now is a pick'em, and they're favored in 3 road games. So that's really interesting. Let's go through. So week 1, Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, who knows if he's going to be 100% to go, but the Vikings are revved up, ready to go. It's the Zimmer Bowl, it's the Mac Alexander Bowl, it's the Riley Reef Bowl, it's the Trey Waynes Bowl, it's a Nick Candlelight Vigil Bowl, it's everyone bowl. But the Vikings, 3-point favorites on the road, that's a pretty big deal. Now, generally, the rule of thumb is the road team is going to get 3 points. So home team is going to be naturally favored by 3 points, especially this year with crowds back. That certainly will be a factor. Plus, you put in travel, all that stuff. So the Vikings, in a vacuum, if they were playing on a neutral field, would be favored by 6, allegedly, supposedly. But it's a good way to start things out. At Arizona, flips the other side. So the Vikings going into the Western time zone, Arizona plus 3.5, where I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that the Bengals one is right on. I think the Vikings would be probably closer to pick 'em with Arizona. And now Arizona, so what happens is that they set the line where they think they're going to get even public money on. And Arizona, they have the splashy names. They have JJ. They have the corpse of AJ Green. They have Nuke Hopkins. They have Kyler. I understand it, so I get it. So I think that a lot of public money could potentially be going down on the Cardinals. So it's whatever there. Seahawks, Vikings are favored. Now, this one was amazing. And even though the Vikings are at home against Seahawks for the first time in 84 years, I feel like the Seahawks are a national brand where the uninitiated public money, just like the general jabronis who have $50 and want to punt on a weekend, like, oh, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, of course I'm going to bet on them. So the fact that the Vikings are 1.5-point favorites, pretty damn impressive. Week 4, Vikings on the road, at home against the Cleveland Browns. Now this one's surprising, where they're dogs. They are dogs at home against the dog pound coming in. Wow. I understand Stefanski, Baker, OBJ, Garrett, Chubb, sure, but man, being dogs at home, it doesn't feel right. I don't really like that one. Lions at home, 8.5-point favorites. Now that one makes sense, where I feel like the public and the lines makers, the odds makers, have correctly gauged that the Lions have taken a step back from last year, where they've lost basically all their wide receivers. Jared Goff is not necessarily an upgrade over Matthew Stafford, and they do have Penny Sewell, great. They do have some nice young defensive line pieces, great, but it's going to be a transition with Dan Campbell. Even though, do you see that he wants a live lion at practices, and also he would feed the lion his arm if they won a Super Bowl? Yeah, he's stable. But yeah, the Vikings over touchdown favorite. Now, if you're favored by more than a touchdown, that's big time. That is big time in the National Football League. Panthers, Vikings go on the road, East Coast. Carolina, a young up-and-coming team. Of course, we saw what happened last year where the Vikings needed a Chad Beebe miracle to rescue them from the Chad Beebe boner. But a pick 'em on the road, it's pretty good. We'll take that. Into the bye. The bye is a 10-point favor over the Vikings. And then week 8, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Waiting for Sunday Night. Vikings at home, 2-point favorites against the Cowboys, where, it's going to be pretty close. Cowboys, akin to the Seahawks, had that national following. And of course, especially if the Cowboys start off decent, the Cowboy money, all that Dallas money is just going to be plopping down on the boys. So I wouldn't be shocked if this eventually gets to, I don't know, Vikings going to get a couple more points out of this, or it goes down to pick 'em or something like that. We'll see. Week 9 at the Ravens, +7. Now, I'm generally not an advocate for betting on lines or putting a jelly bean down on lines so far in advance, but this one could definitely shift, where if you do it, make sure that you're getting a significant number of points. So the Ravens week 9 getting a touchdown at the Niners week 12 getting a touchdown. I would take that up because definitely things could happen. The Vikings could start out fast. Some of these teams could stumble where those lines shrink. quite a bit. But yeah, being a touchdown dog on the road at the Ravens, it is what it is. And then the following week, Vikings go East Coast to West Coast. You're at the Chargers. The Vikings are getting 3 points on the road at SoFi. What up, Inglewood? Up to no good. The matchup of the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson, and the guy who stole it. Stolen. Week 11, Packers, the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers coming to US Bank Stadium, getting 3 points at home. That's no great shakes. So they're basically saying that the Packers, which are an XFL team minus the octogenarian Aaron Rodgers, are in a vacuum the same team as the Vikings. Okay, sure. Week 12 at the Niners. Now, that's a big spread. That's big time. But the Niners are stacked, and I do think that Trey Lance eventually will be starting for them at some point this season. So it could be Trey Lance with Kittle, with Trent Williams, with Debo, with Kyle Shanahan leading the way. So, yeah, if you can get it, and also generally these very far in advance lines, you can't really put too many jelly beans down, but if you just want to get a little taste ahead of time, go ahead. Week 13, you're at the Lions. You're 4-point favorites. That's a big-time deal. Division rivals at their place being more than field goal favorite. Go ahead. Week 14, the Vikings Thursday Night Football against the Steelers. Vikings 2.5-point favorites where I would consider taking this now, because I feel like the Steelers have a really good chance of imploding, especially if they go the way that Big Ben goes. I don't know if his body is ready to hold up for another year of football. So by the time this game comes around, the Vikings could be touchdown plus favorites. So if you can get them at 2.5, sure. Week 15, Monday Night Football at Chicago, the Bears. Vikings are favorites on the road in prime time. That's a man. Don't these lines makers know about Kirk Cousins in prime time and the Vikings history at Soldier Field? Even though Kirk Cousins and the Vikings won at Soldier Field last year, Week 10, what up? Yeah. Week 16, the Rams, you're at home, but you're 2.5-point dogs, which I don't know, man. And this is another one where I would explore early, because I think that the Matthew Stafford Rams hype, I've said this a bunch, I think it's massively overhyped. I do not think this team is better than they were last year. So taking 2.5 points where by the time this game comes around, maybe the Vikings are a field goal, or 4-point favorite or more. Yeah, I'll take that. Week 17 at Lambeau, Packers 3-point favorites. That's whatever. So this is just a mirror image of the earlier matchup where the odds makers just give a field goal to whatever side is at home. The Vikings got 3 week 11. Packers get 3 week 17. Now this one could shift quite a bit because the Vikings will have the division locked up. They might be resting starters. Kellen Mond might be starting this game. Who really knows? So, +3. I'd pass on this one, because if they're resting the starters, chances are Packers will probably be favored by 10 plus. So just wait on that one. The Week 18 at US Bank Stadium, the Vikings are 4-point favorites. I'd wait on that one. Just wait on that one, because if the resting starters again, then that could be a pick 'em. Who knows? But that's it. That's an early look at the Vikings. But that's it. That's a very early look at the Vikings week-by-week lines. What are your thoughts and our thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.